hold it with 2 fingers, dude. Hell, where the hell did you see it?
In 1968, the novel MASH, a novel about 3 Army doctors, emerged from the collaboration between surgeon Richard Hornberger and writer W.C. Hines, drawing from Hornberger's time at the 8055 Mobile Army Surgical Hospital in the Korean War. This narrative foundation was transformed by Robert Altman into a film, and subsequently a celebrated television series spanning 11 seasons. The series is distinguished by its casting choices and the wealth of stories from its production, contributing to its storied place in television history. The 1970 film MASH finds its roots in the novel MASH, a novel about 3 Army doctors, authored by Richard Hornberger and W.C. Hines. Published in 1968, the book draws from Hornberger's first-hand experiences as a surgeon during the Korean War. The narrative of the novel revolves around a group of medical personnel stationed at the 4077th Mobile Army Surgical Hospital in Korea and their encounters and challenges. 2 years after the novel's publication, director Robert Altman adapted it into the movie MASH, which became a significant cinematic event of its time. The film's success paved the way for a television series, also titled MASH, which expanded on the film's setting and characters. This series enjoyed a long run, spanning 11 seasons, and became one of the most beloved and enduring shows in television history. The transition from a written work to a film, and subsequently to a television series, exemplifies the adaptability and appeal of the original story and its characters. The legacy of MASH is evident in the lasting popularity of the series and the impact it had on the portrayal of military and medical personnel in popular culture. In the casting process for the 1970 film MASH, McLean Stevenson originally auditioned for the role of Hawkeye Pierce. However, he was ultimately cast as Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, a different but significant character. Robert Klein was considered for the role of Trapper John McIntyre, but declined the opportunity, a decision he may have looked back on with some regret. Jamie Farr's character, Corporal Maxwell Klinger, was not intended to be a recurring role. Initially, he was to appear in just 1 episode. Nevertheless, his character was expanded and became a regular part of the series. This development was influenced by the real-life experiences of comedian Lenny Bruce, whose style and persona likely contributed to the evolution of Klinger's character on screen.
Report for short arm inspection at 0400. That is all.
The 1970 movie MASH faced a unique challenge during its initial broadcast. The creative team behind the show, including the writers and executive producers, were against the use of canned laughter, believing it detracted from the series' authenticity. Despite their objections, the network, CBS, insisted on its inclusion, arguing that it was a necessary component for sitcoms of that era. As the series gained popularity and evolved, there was a noticeable reduction in the laugh track. This was particularly evident during the operating room scenes, which were often serious in tone. The decrease in canned laughter over time reflected a shift in the show's approach, allowing for a more natural and immersive viewing experience that resonated with the audience's expectations of the dramatic content presented in these moments. The phasing out of the laugh track became one of the notable aspects of MASH, distinguishing it from other television comedies of its time. In the 1970 film MASH, a significant plot twist occurs with the character of Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake, portrayed by McLean Stevenson. The development of Blake's storyline was kept secret from the cast, with Alan Alda being the sole actor informed of Blake's impending demise. This narrative decision was a closely guarded secret, with the final script pages withheld from the rest of the cast until the last possible moment. The revelation of Blake's death, resulting from a helicopter crash, was a dramatic turn that was disclosed to the cast members only on the final day of shooting, ensuring genuine reactions from the actors during the filming of this poignant scene. The handling of this plot element reflects the show's approach to blending humor with the harsh realities of war, leaving a lasting impression on both the characters and the audience. In the television series MASH, the task of naming characters, particularly patients, presented a unique challenge for the writers. They sought to maintain authenticity and avoid repetition, which led them to an inventive solution during the 6th and 7th seasons. Drawing inspiration from the world of sports, they began to borrow names from professional baseball players. This approach not only provided a rich source of names, but also added an element of subtle homage to American culture. The 1977 California Angels and the 1978 Los Angeles Dodgers were among the teams whose rosters contributed to the character names in the show. This strategy allowed the writers to navigate the difficulties of character naming with a creative twist that resonated with the audience, many of whom were baseball enthusiasts. The use of real players' names served as a clever workaround to the challenge and enriched the show's connection to its contemporary setting. The 1970 movie MASH featured appearances by several actors who would go on to become well-known figures in Hollywood. These guest stars included Ron Howard, who would later gain fame for his roles in Happy Days and as a director of acclaimed films. Leslie Nielsen, known for his comedic performances, particularly in the Naked Gun series, also appeared in the movie. Patrick Swayze, who would become a heartthrob and star in hits like Dirty Dancing and Ghost, had a role in the film. John Ritter, later the star of Three's Company, and Lawrence Fishburne, who would star in The Matrix, were part of the cast as well. Pat Morita, best known for his role as Mr. Miyagi in The Karate Kid, George Wendt, who would become famous as Norman Cheers, and Shelley Long, also from Cheers, were among the future stars who made appearances in MASH. Their roles in this film were part of their early careers before they became widely recognized in the entertainment industry.
I think you will find these accommodating. They're quite dry.
The series finale of MASH is a significant event in television history, setting a record for viewership that remains unbroken. When it aired in 1983, it drew the attention of an overwhelming majority of the television audience, with 77% tuning in to watch the final episode. This finale not only marked the end of a beloved series, but also demonstrated the show's widespread appeal and the strong connection it had forged with viewers over its run. The finale's unprecedented viewership figures stand as a testament to the show's popularity and the impact it had on television as a medium. The television series MASH, which began in the early 1970s, saw a significant increase in advertising costs over its run. For the series finale, the price for a 30-second commercial slot soared to nearly $500,000. This was a stark increase from the initial rate of $30,000 for the same duration when the series first aired. The escalation in advertising rates reflects the show's growing popularity and the value advertisers placed on accessing its large and dedicated audience during the highly anticipated final episode.
As to war with the cross of Jesus.
Radar O'Reilly's Teddy Bear holds a special place in the history of the television series MASH. The teddy bear, which was a constant companion to the character Radar, played by Gary Berghoff, became a symbol of comfort and humanity amidst the backdrop of war. After being lost for 3 decades, the teddy bear reappeared at an auction in 2005, catching the attention of fans and collectors alike. A medical student, recognizing the significance of the prop, secured it for $11,500. Understanding the emotional connection between the actor and the teddy bear, the student made the decision to return it to Gary Berghoff. This gesture not only reunited Berghoff with a piece of his character's essence, but also brought joy to the fans who held the show and its characters dear to their hearts. The journey of the teddy bear from a prop on the set to a treasured auction item, and finally back to its original owner, reflects the enduring legacy of the show and the affection that the audience has for the characters of MASH.
This is Ho-John. He's one of our mess hall boys. I'm teaching him how to read.
Oh, is that right?